Today we are going to share with you our top 5 do's and don'ts in supporting someone through pregnancy and infant loss.
Hello, we are Tony
And Jeff
Brabeck, founders of Our Little Sparrows Pregnancy and Infant Loss Support. If you would like to know more about us and our organization, please click the link in the description below.
If someone you know is going through a pregnancy loss, knowing what to say or do can be a challenge for some. Some fear upsetting the parents, the mother or the father of the baby, and choose not to say anything or do nothing because they think that the parents don't want to be reminded of their baby. Or maybe in an attempt to show support and comfort, they end up saying something that is not supportive or helpful at all. I mean, at the end of the day, we've said this before, you don't know what you don't know. And that's what this episode is all about. So we have put together today 5 do's and 5 don'ts to support a family going through pregnancy loss. So here are the 5 do's. Number 1, say our baby's name. We do want to hear their name. We love to hear it. We want to hear it because it means a lot to us when you say our baby's name. It means you remember our baby too, and it's not just an isolated incident.
Absolutely. Number 2, ask the parents to tell you about their baby. Ask them to share about their experience. What was the pregnancy like? Like, did the mom get morning sickness or experience insomnia? What kind of cravings did she have? If the baby was a little further along, when did the baby start to kick? Even those things might be something a lot of people might just relate to as a pregnancy experience, but that was the experience of them with their baby. So even sharing things like that can mean a lot to us. It means that it shows us that you care when you want to know details like that.
Right. I think a way to kind of summarize that is it is important to be asked what happened. It's not an off-limit topic, and if it is, then the mom or dad can say, I'm not ready to talk about it, because that's completely valid.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Number 3, do be present. So listening attentively, even if it's difficult to hear, your presence with them does bring healing to them as well. They know that they have a trusted friend, a confidant. I think it's important to know that we can be heard when we want to be listened to, and that we have someone to go to talk.
Number 4, do create or gift a special memento. Things like jewelry with the baby's name or initials are really special. Etsy is a great place to look for different kinds of gifts and that can do custom work. Also artwork, whether it be a picture, a painting, even a poem, something like that. So many different ways to represent the life of your baby. And again, Etsy is another good place to look for. There's lots of different individuals who are very creative and have the ability to create these really beautiful items for remembrance. So gifting something like that says a lot to the parents and the family that you remember their baby, and that that baby is special to them and to you too. Another item you can gift is a tree or flower to plant, whether it be in their yard or a special place. That I think is something that can be really special. We were gifted a tree and actually a flower plant as well, and that's something that was really special for us.
A magnolia and a azalea.
Yes, and also as we're getting to the holidays, a Christmas ornament for the tree. We've received a couple very unique and very special ones from family members and friends that took time to remember our baby during the holidays, because it is a very difficult time. And that's something that we cherish every time we bring out our Christmas tree. Those are the first ornaments that we get to put on the tree.
Number 5, do let them know you are here to support them. Offer specific help such as childcare, running errands, and providing meals. I know that can be very special. Whether you're thinking of it or not, it's nice for someone to offer.
Okay, so here are now 5 don'ts. Number 1, don't ignore the family or avoid saying the name of their deceased baby, or treat them differently than you were treating them before.
Number 2, don't try to solve their problems. Rather be empathetic and compassionate. I know for us, we learned from the Grief Recovery Handbook, a heart with ears. Very simple.
Number 3, Don't say the typical statements that are not helpful, such as, "It wasn't meant to be," or "God will only give you what you can handle," or "Be thankful you have other living children." And definitely statements that contain the words "at least." Definitely want to think about it before you say it. Things that were said to us is like, "At least you're young, you can have another child," or "At least you know you can get pregnant."
Ugh, yeah.
That was the zinger
Terrible.
because yes, I can get pregnant, but it doesn't mean that we're going to be able to bring a baby home.
Yep.
So think about that before you say those kind of comments.
Cool. I agree. Number 4, don't assume the family is doing okay, even months or years after their loss. Grief has no time limit, and it reveals itself in different ways as time goes on. Specifically, I think of PTSD, post-traumatic. That can happen anytime. There's those triggers, right? For some people, it's the blue gloves of a medical individual, whether it be a nurse or the OB or whatever. For others, it's equipment. It's just stepping into the hospital and hearing all the beeps and the sounds. For me, it's looking at the ultrasound machine or the Doppler. It's just it's about that heartbeat, and the anticipation of even hearing a heartbeat makes me nervous and anxious inside.
Okay. Number 5, don't pretend the baby didn't exist.
Yeah.
Even if the baby lived for only a couple of weeks in the womb, the baby existed. The baby lived. To the parents, they had dreams and hopes for this baby long before it was conceived.
Definitely.
So to lose the baby, even just a week or so after that positive pregnancy test, can be devastating.
Yeah, I think it comes back to a loss is a loss. We can't put a timeline on that. We can't say, well, at least it was only 7 days. At least it was only 7 weeks. At least it was only 7 years. I mean, that's just, man, can you imagine someone saying at least it was a 7-year-old, not a 17-year-old? Like, you would never say that.
Yeah.
So why would you say something about, 7 weeks? You wouldn't. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
Finding ways to show support to families of pregnancy and infant loss can seem challenging. And I know it is challenging. I think that's the reality of it. If you don't know it, you don't know it. Fear of upsetting the family can stop us from offering what they truly need. What we're pleading for you here is not to stop, but to embrace it, ask them what they're looking for. What they need are open hearts, willing to listen. It's that heart with ears, right?
Yeah.
And be present, even when it feels heavy, difficult, and awkward. Obviously, we recommend moving at their pace, right? That's part of asking, what do you need and how can I help? So giving the family that safe space that they need to express their thoughts and emotions when they are ready is more of a gift than you can ever imagine. We hope that you found this episode helpful. We want you to know that you are not alone. You are loved, and your baby will always be cherished, and we are here to support you in any way that Tony and I can.
If you got value out of this episode, please give us a thumbs up so others can find it. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to get updates for when we release new content weekly. Doing this will also help get the word out on YouTube about this important resource for support.
Definitely.
If you liked this episode and want to see another video podcast, click or tap here. If you're looking for more in-depth information, we have a grief series called The Pregnancy Journey, Grieving from Diagnosis to the Loss of Your Baby and Beyond. You can click or tap here.